Hey, what's up, guys? Robin here with Oracle Rising. Thanks for joining me today. So, I just wanted to talk quickly, and I wrote an article called Plant Powered a few years ago, pretty much at the beginning of my vegan journey. And I'm not a preachy vegan, but I do want to share some things that I've experienced. And one of my friends is a power lifter, and he's vegan. So, I wanted to just talk about this quickly, and I'm just going to jump right in. So, but where do you get your protein? As a vegan, I'd rank this question in the top 3 annoying questions I get asked when a person finds out that I live and thrive exclusively on a plant-based diet. So this is written. So I'd like to quickly interrupt the visualization of a meek, borderline starving, sunk-eyed woman you may or may not be having to say, I'm pretty healthy, thanks. So there are many, many questions that can be asked about veganism. However, let's stick to the protein thing and discuss the absolute surety that a carnivorous diet does not have to be followed in order for the body to reach its maximum and most healthy potential. Of course, tofu springs to the mind of most when imagining a meatless protein source, and it is absolutely a great staple for many vegans. But go ahead and think also of beans and legumes, leafy spinach and bustling bunches of broccoli. Peanut butter is amazing, and so are quinoa and amaranth. Actually, all vegetables contain protein. It's just a matter of learning which veggies have the most of it and will work best for your body. Transitioning to an all-plant intake can be a little challenging. Learning what to shop for and then how to cook it so it's delicious. Most vegans have experienced one kind of flop or another in the kitchen while traveling down the road to plant-based living. Most have probably wondered, am I ever going to eat a yummy meal again? But once a person gets a handle on what they are doing in the grocery store and in the kitchen, some pretty amazing things can be plated up. Often with non-vegans asking for the recipe and gobbling all the veggie entrees in excited disbelief. I live in Winnipeg, so Winnipeg resident, pet insurance advisor, and all-around great guy Larry Palmquist says he stays super fit on a meat-free diet. Palmquist is a pretty buff guy. He likes to hit the gym to throw around weights and has logged some pretty impressive runs. While many people subscribe to a pre-workout smoothie shake, bar, or other magic potion, Palmquist says he sticks to a practice of eating healthy on a daily basis and goes with a nice big bottle of water instead of the other more commercialized and possibly damaging beverages available. Following a regime of exercising approximately 60 to 90 minutes a day, 5 to 7 days a week, Palmquist is healthy and strong enough to carry this kind of load with ease. Being vegan doesn't mean you can't accomplish the same thing as non-vegan, Palmquist says. In addition to a healthy vegan diet, Palmquist takes basic supplements, vitamins and minerals, just the same as any other bodybuilder or athlete would do. Truly, a casual observer would not be able to look at Palmquist and say, hey, that guy doesn't eat meat or dairy? For the dubious reader or listener, assuming that Palmquist might have gotten lucky or just has that kind of body that does well no matter what it gets fed, I've done some quick internet searches on the subject. Athletes of every variety popped up on the interwebs, which, as a vegan, is super cool to see. Bodybuilders, tennis players, boxers, NHL and NFL players, cyclists, swimmers, name the sport, vegans are competing and winning. It is entirely possible to consume a plant-based diet and be a top performer. It's happening all around the world. Using the word diet is a bit of a misnomer when it comes to describing people that exclude meat and dairy from their daily habits. Vegans are not on a diet. It's a lifestyle. They aren't trying to drop weight to fit into a dress or performing a cleanse. It's a choice to consume no animal products. There are many opposing views that claim that humans will shrink into wispy oblivion by eliminating meat and dairy, but there's no But there's so much evidence and living proof that vegans are not only thriving, they're taking the podium across all divisions of sport. It is possible to eat the vegan way and improperly, just like it's possible to eat the wrong things as an omni. Claims that a vegan diet is unhealthy and that people are shriveling away has more to do with the individual choices to eat badly than being vegan. With a little bit of education on plant proteins and how to cook them to their yummiest potential, everyone, regardless of past eating habits, is able to thrive. So I really just wanted to make that point because I get so many people asking me that question. You know, I'm obviously not starving, I'm not skinny, I'm not fat, like I'm a medium build. You know, I do yoga, Pilates, I do Qigong, I walk. I used to run before I had an agonizing bunion surgery. Just wanted to let you guys know too that a few years ago I was in New York and I just happened to stumble into this crock pot cooking contest on the Dr. Oz show. And I had been making this recipe and I still make it. I meal prep and I have it every day for lunch, which is hysterical, but I make a chickpea stew. And I got onto this Dr. Oz show and there was 10 contestants in total. And I ended up winning because of the nutritional value of what I was making. And it's really, really good. And my recipe is still to this day on the Dr. Oz website. It is Robin's Chickpea Stew and it's there. They kind of dialed down the information on the spices. I add way more spice than it calls for. I just throw it in my Instapot and it's done, and I have meals for 5 days, you know, for lunch. So, and honestly, when I first went vegan, I was like, oh my God, I'm so bad at this. But then I just started attending vegan meetups, and it's way easier to be vegan now. It's not just tofu. There are other meat substitutes. You know, you can go into almost any restaurant, like even 7-Eleven. It's funny that that just popped up on the screen. You can even get vegan food at 7-Eleven now. So, I mean, it's a choice of compassion, you guys. I saw something really devastating. Obviously, I wasn't always vegan. You know, I saw something really, really devastating one day, probably about 7 years ago, almost 8 now, that changed me in an instant. And it has to do with the consumption of what we consider companion animals in other countries. And I just realized in that moment, for me, I felt like the ultimate hypocrite. And I just changed because I saw something like all you have to do is Google what is going on over there. And I did a piece earlier on in my channel called The Consumption Conundrum, where I wrote about it and then I talked about it. So being vegan is really easy. Obviously, I just wanted to talk about protein. People get really upset about the vegan subject, especially if they're very anti-vegan. So, and like I said before, I'm not a preachy vegan. I just wanted to share this. And, you know, one of my boys is vegan and one is not. And they're both extremely healthy. They're both extremely fit. My son that is not a vegan, he makes more and more plant-based choices. He says because it tastes better, like he'll buy the ground round, like the plant-based ground round. He says it tastes better and it has less fat. And he feels like cleaner when he eats it, you know? So I'm happy to see that, but I would never ever say, you know, you have to be vegan to sit down and eat a meal with me, but I prefer it, you know, because obviously it's a choice of compassion and it's really, really good for your body, you guys. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that quickly. And, you know, plant-based diet is completely possible and to maintain your ultimate health and all of that great stuff. So feel free to go ahead and share your plant-based recipes down below in the comments. And maybe I'll pop a link to that recipe down there for you guys so you can check it out. And anyway, guys, stay blessed and namaste. Take care. Bye.